English students, this is Miss Alsamani again. Now I want us to talk about the Hamlet essay, which is going to be the next essay you guys write about. So it'll obviously focus on the play Hamlet. I have the link to the film in the content folder and on announcements as well. So it is a 4-hour film, so make sure you watch the film before you watch this video, just because I'm going to plot spoil a little bit on the film and in the play. The film is word for word from the play, so once you've watched those 4 hours of film, you've read the entire play of Hamlet, and you'll be ready for this essay. So, this type of essay argues a point of view about Hamlet, utilizing quotes and summaries of scenes as evidence. And then I have an example of how to quote from a play. It's different from a poem or prose, and it's on page 125 in the Seagull textbook as well. But I want you to know that you need to have your acts and scene and line number in the parentheses. So for this example, 3, it was in Act 3, Scene 3, and it's lines 96 through 97. So whenever you're quoting from the play, that's when you'll need to do that in-text citation. And the play starts on page 1396 in the Norton textbook. So as you're watching the film, it might be good to have the textbook close by, just so that you can mark specific quotes that you find particularly interesting. So notice that the rough draft is due Wednesday, July 22nd by midnight in the discussion board. And you guys will have the final draft due date of Sunday, July 26th by midnight in the week 9 folder. And so this is the last essay for the class, so just make sure you put a lot of effort into it. It's worth 100 points, and it's 20% of the final grade. Notice the essay should be at least 800 words in length. So considering you're going to have such a long play to pull from, that's not that long. It's only about 300 words longer than an average English 101 paper. So for formatting, there's no surprise. It's still 12-point Times New Roman font, double spaced with MLA heading and style. For MLA heading, I recommend checking out page 161 in the Seagull textbook. You will need to have a works cited page with Hamlet cited, but the second page of this assignment has the citation created already. So you essentially can just copy and paste it from here. So I'll look over to the second page. Notice I have the works cited done at the bottom. You can copy and paste it. To keep the citation formatting, just make sure you do the little paint symbol when you paste it, because that'll keep the source formatting whenever you copy and paste. So. But I did the citation for you, so all you have to do is copy and paste that into a works cited page. You don't have to do any outside research. No outside sources are needed. So you'll only need that one citation on your works cited page, and I've already done that for you. So that also counts towards your word count as well. So I've already done, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 words for you. So that helps. Every little bit helps, right? And so I've got several topics listed here for you to choose from, but if for some reason you read through all of these topics and none of them are speaking to you, just let me know and we can try to figure out another topic for you. But these are some of the most popular topics I've gotten from Hamlet before. A lot of students write about symbols in Hamlet, so some of the main symbols, whenever there's a picture of Hamlet, he's always holding the skull, because whenever he's discussing Yorick and how he knew him, and he kind of ponders the nature of death and the afterlife and how we all end up dust, and so kind of the universality of how we all must die. So that's obviously the skull represents death. Ophelia has a lot of flower symbolism. Flowers usually represent love, but obviously, and you guys that haven't seen the play, about to have a major plot spoil, Ophelia dies and her flowers are strewn on her grave, and Gertrude said, I'd hoped these flowers would be given to you on your wedding day and not lay on your grave. So like there's a lot of symbolism with Ophelia and flowers. Also the crown itself, really this play is about ambition and wanting to become king, and so the crown is kind of the representation of that ambition and the need to want to rule the country of Denmark, essentially. And obviously there's a ton of other symbols. The sword that's poisoned that ultimately kills Hamlet, the poisoned chalice. Both of those poison items represent that things are not as they seem. A drink is not just a drink, it could kill you. A sword is not just a sword, it might be poisoned. So nothing is as it seems in Hamlet. And obviously there's a ton of other symbols as well, so if you think of some others and you want to run it by me, feel free to email me to make sure that those sound like good symbols. Another really popular topic is what is the conflict in Hamlet? There's a lot of conflict happening within the play, specifically with Hamlet's character and his need to revenge his father's murder. And so a lot of students like to delve into the nature of that conflict and how it started and if it's resolved. It is debatable whether or not Hamlet does ultimately get the revenge he seeks because it ends in his own death. And so is that the revenge that he wanted in the end? Because he also has many scenes where he ponders suicide and that sort of thing. So it makes you wonder if he intended to ultimately die in his revenge plot or if that was an accident or what happened. So especially the end of the play is a good place to look whenever you're trying to figure out the conflict. Really the beginning and the ending, because the beginning is when the ghost gives him the conflict in the first place. And then the end is you can focus in on how it's resolved or if it's resolved. So you could also choose a character in Hamlet and point out the character's motivation and what drives the character to action. Some of the most common characters that students like to analyze for this topic would be Hamlet himself, Laertes. Essentially, Laertes is created through Hamlet's revenge plot because Laertes' revenge is because Hamlet kills his father Polonius behind the curtain. And so Laertes' motivation is grown out of Hamlet's motivation of revenge. And then another one, a lot of people like to focus on Ophelia's motivation, her love for Hamlet and how that ultimately drives her insane because Hamlet murdering her father, those are the two most important men in her life. And so she can't exactly get revenge on the man she loves for murdering her father. So her character is a very intriguing one to analyze as well. There's several themes within Hamlet. Pick one theme and point out how that theme drives the plot of the play. One of the most common themes is definitely revenge. There's several characters that want revenge, and so you could focus in on that. Another theme would be death. There's a ton of death in this play. I mean, by the end, it's a bloodbath, essentially. Love. So essentially, the love that Hamlet had for his father drives him to act. The love Ophelia had for Hamlet drives her insane. The love that Laertes had for Polonius, his father, drives him to seek revenge against Hamlet. And so there's a lot of different themes that are pretty major in this play. So if you just choose one theme and really delve into that and how it plays out in the play, you could go with that topic. Another topic is Ophelia's character changes throughout the play. Describe how the Ophelia the audience meets at the beginning of the play is much different than the one in the play's conclusion, what changes her. So when we first meet Ophelia, she is a very proper lady. She is following society's rules and she's very put together. She has a relationship with Hamlet, but it's not public knowledge. And so, but by the end, she has lost her mind. I mean, Hamlet pretends to be crazy, but Ophelia literally goes insane. And so by the end, she's really what's called the fallen woman. And that's something that if you were allowed to do outside research, I would recommend checking out. But if you're just interested in that, feel free to research the fallen woman. But Ophelia is definitely an example of a fallen woman. She, her reputation is destroyed and her hope, essentially, with the death of her father. And especially in the way that he died. So she's a very tragic character. And the last topic, there are characters that experience similar situations in Hamlet. Pick 3 characters and point out their similarities and their differences. A lot of students like to focus on the death of fathers, and that's specifically with Hamlet, Laertes, and Ophelia. You could also focus in on the want of the crown. So like the ambitious characters, if you wanted to focus in on them, that would be Hamlet, Claudius, who's his uncle. Essentially, if you know The Lion King, he's the scar of the picture, essentially. Lion King has a lot of similarities with Hamlet. But Claudius is also very ambitious. It would be Hamlet, Claudius, and then Fortinbras, who also wants the crown as well. And he's from Norway. He's the guy at the end that takes the crown. So those are some of the main characters you could focus in if you choose that topic and want to go in that direction. So notice on the second page, I do want to emphasize it's 10 points off every day late, and all of your essays will be scanned with anti-plagiarism software. So don't get tempted to check out Schmoop or any of those Spark Notes or any of that, because it will flag it as plagiarized. So just make sure that your ideas are just your ideas. And I want to emphasize again, the works cited page has been done for you. It's on the second page, so just copy and paste it into your essay. As always, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to help. I know this play is a very long play, and typically I would like to walk you guys through it in person, but that's not possible with this pandemic. So I've really enjoyed teaching you all. This is really one of the last videos. I might have one more for the semester, but we're getting to the end of the semester. So thank you so much for sticking around this class. I've enjoyed teaching you all. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you later. Bye.